My name's Josh. This is my wife, Rachel, and we've been married for 11 years and we have 6 children together. Though we have a very loving and affirming relationship, there were some challenges that we were experiencing, particularly in the bedroom, where there wasn't a lot of flow and it just felt difficult to get into a romantic setting. Felt very orchestrated and kind of glitchy.
Boxed in. It was very, limiting, and expectations were looming over our head on both sides. And for me, um, I felt that I needed to control every aspect in order to feel comfortable, just based on trauma that I had experienced in the past. And,
And for me, it felt like I needed to jump through a lot of hoops to set up all the right, you know, circumstances for things to line up. And so that just felt really difficult. And we also had some imbalance at our house with just kind of roles and who was doing what. And so I am a hardcore doer. So I like to jump in and get things done. So if I see something that's on my radar, I'm going to do it. And so I had taken on a majority of the duties around the house as well as working outside the house. So those are some things that were showing up for us. And we came to know Gabriella and Kai and the devotional love um, work that they do. And we felt like it aligned with the vision, the things that we wanted to experience. And so we began working with them, and it was pretty evident, right away, like that there were things that we needed to work through. A lot of hardships, a lot of wounds for Rachel.
yeah, for me, I had a hard time being open and staying open to our physical intimacy connection and receiving that really as a love pursuit. Um, and so for me, it started off with a lot of work, deconditioning around sexual trauma that I had when I was young. And even just some conditioning around like parenting and their relationship, my parents' relationship, how that showed up in my life, kind of the hidden messages that I had kind of circulating and were being triggered, and lots and lots of anxiety that I didn't really fully hold in my awareness that I had. And so I was so disconnected from that. I didn't really understand what was going on. And I thought I had to overcome so much of the anxiety. And so we worked and worked through like a lot of subtle layers of that in order to bring my nervous system into a space where it could open up and really just even be um, feel safe and be at a place where I felt comfortable and at ease in order to experience pleasure. I had cut myself off from pleasure. And so there was, a lot of work around that. And we saw shifts instantly happening around that. There was a time where we just had to kind of detach from each other's triggers and just kind of hold space for our own and just trust the process, which felt hard at times, but it really helped to break the patterns that we were in with being stuck in the way that we were interacting with each other, pursuing each other, and responding to each other.
Hmm. Yeah. So we've been working with them for several months now, and it's been amazing. Seen tons of shifts. For one, we did a co-creation exercise and we created a schedule where we put what we're going to do pretty much all day, every day throughout the week. We started incorporating things that we had wanted to have in our schedule, but felt like, oh, we don't have time for it, or
We started with household
yeah,
duties. So we started with trying to, have an equal playing field of who does this and when do they do this. And so dividing up just the household duties, um, so he wasn't always doing, and I had it on my schedule, whether or not I felt like doing it. It was there for me to rely on to be able to really take responsibility and step up in that part of helping with the duties and helping to relieve tension from him so that he had time for himself. And at the same time, it created a lot of opportunity for me to have like pockets during the day where I had time for myself and other things. So that really helped us to feel a lot more balanced in the household. And it created space for us to um, schedule in our own self care. For scheduling in time together, scheduling in time with our children so that everyone felt more connected and part of a team.
yeah, that was huge. So that made a big shift. I think it created some polarity for the two of us as well, where I wasn't always doing a bunch of household chores. I was able to do things that I wanted to do, go for more bike rides, get away, um, and I think it also allowed for her to realize, I don't know, maybe some appreciation for some of the things that I was doing, um, that she wasn't at the time. But that was one aspect that I really felt like helped us. Our whole family experienced a shift and an understanding of like, hey, this is when we do these things, and then we get to go do some other things, and just we were able to get a lot more accomplished with that exercise, and um, and then the intimacy has just grown exponentially. The ease at which we are able to interact, and the openness that Rachel has, I mean, it's like things we haven't experienced, the whole time we've been married, right? And so we feel like things are only getting better. Things are only getting much better, and so that's really exciting. Feels very adventurous. Feels very new. Um, Exploration, just all these things that we wanted to experience in one another. I feel like the two of us wanted the same things. Like we wanted these things all along, but we always felt like there was a challenge getting there. Like there was
Yeah.
something in the way.
We didn't understand how to work through like blockages that were there. And we didn't understand even how to like hold space for there to be something new. Like we just kept kind of going at it and being triggered and go and repeating the same pattern. And yeah, so like that once we were able to disarm that and to kind of create space for each person to have their own lane and their own I don't know, responsibility and not putting expectations on the other. That's been a huge lesson. We're learning different ways of communicating in vulnerability, and building intimacy that way. And just really like kind of hedging off any like projections and fights and things like that way. And I wouldn't say we've fought a lot before, but definitely like our communication has grown a lot. And that builds that feeling of safety, security, and it just kind of lays more of um,
Solid
fertile ground,
foundation.
yeah,
Yeah.
for the intimacy to come around. And Josh did a co-creation exercise with
Just a meditation exercise I did with Gabriella. That was amazing. And so at the beginning of May, so today is June 25th. Beginning of May 1st, we had this exercise, and I created a new exercise routine, and just I was able to envision myself in the level of fitness that I want. So it was like I got to try on this version of myself, and now I am becoming that person. Like I am that person. The person that you see is just the process. Like I'm in that process of becoming and realizing, like letting the real me out. So Been able to shed about 20 to 22 pounds in less than 2 months and just feel great, lots of energy. Been getting up every single morning, pretty much every single morning. Maybe I take one day off per week on the weekend. But just, yeah, spending an hour exercising, spending some time and being mindful of my body, of who I am, and what I want to create. And it's been amazing. So,
Yeah, and that builds polarity between the two of us as well. He's taking time to take care of himself. He's taking time to really focus on like his health, which is something I wanted for a really long time. And it's sexy to see him like put a goal and a target in place and then like just plow forward towards it. It's magnetizing for sure. So yeah, those are some ways that we've built this polarity and kind of draw towards each other. Another one that we've done recently was a meditation with Gabriella, envisioning what we wanted in our intimacy. I had a point where I felt kind of stuck, and this was another exercise that we did, and we both did it individually, but I realized in my meditation with her that we really wanted the same thing. And just being able to envision it with all the senses and the feelings. And the next time that we had intimacy, it went according to that meditation, which was really exciting. And it just continues to feel expansive. It feels new. It feels easy. It feels like fun, exciting. We're embracing a lot more possibility of adventure and just feel more love, safe and secure. And yeah, I don't know. I think more fulfilled
yeah,
all together with each other. And I think that, you know, our children like benefit from that as well, like
sure.
being in our home and seeing that um, cultivated and continuing.
Yeah. So it's been a great journey thus far. We're really grateful for Gabriella and for Kai and the work that they do, helping couples work through the stuff that is in the way of them reaching their highest potential. I really do feel like we've leveled up. Like we have so much more potential, so much greater capacity, and an understanding of the ability to create the future that we want to have, the what we want to experience. Like we are in control of creating that, and there's nothing holding us back except for ourselves. And so, the work that they're doing is helping us to realize that potential and to move through it, which is awesome.
Yeah, we'll highly recommend to anyone. We mentioned to many of our friends and family the process that we've been going through, and you know, whenever we have these kind of up leveling moments, it's really exciting and fun to share. And yeah, I hope that you start your journey and you have beautiful results. And I know you won't regret it. We have grown so much. We'll be married for 12 years this August. And, you know, it's been about then time that we started doing all of this.
Yeah.
And every time, you know, we put intentions on something, it's just showing up. And so, really, like having people who have the knowledge and the experience themselves, like Kai and Gabriella have, to be able to kind of walk alongside of us in this process is invaluable, but also like just knowing that it really it's in our hands. Like we can do anything that we want to do, and just really seeing that like we're the masters of our own universe, yeah, and
Yeah.
in our experiences, and that's really coming to life more and more. So hope that you get to share in that as well.